a part of your fill. You've come again tonight. Tonight represents the penultimate session of this yagna. Tomorrow it ends. But I'm sure all those, whether you've come only one night or you've come all the nights, you will have been filled subsequently by tomorrow's end. You've had the highest level of discourses being done on one of the most famous shastras of Sanatana Dharma, the Ramcharitmanasa, that Panditji is an expert in. Brothers, sisters, fathers, mothers, children, and all learned Pandits, I have the distinct privilege to ask Vyas Maharaj, Pandit Reepu Daman Persaud, to give us his stirring discourses on Ramcharitmanas.
Om Shri Ramaya Namaha. Om Shri Ramaya Namaha. Om Shri Ramaya Namaha.
Brothers, sisters, fathers, mothers, children, and all learned Pandits, I have the distinct privilege to ask Vyas Maharaj, Pandit Reepu Daman Persaud, to give us his stirring discourses on Ramcharitmanas.
Sisters and brothers, I feel extremely happy tonight for many reasons. That I can sit before you and witness before my naked eyes persons whom I have been associated with, who have virtually grown up before me and have risen and ascended to the pinnacle of the particular area in which they have committed themselves. I refer to Devo and Mara. I always tease Mara, I got a fortune carrying her. I listened to Devo in my own home for late nights. Very serious, very committed, very dedicated. Tonight, they both sang with a clear and unequivocal professional touch. And I'm sure all of you enjoyed them. On my right, Sri Prakash. I'm taking care not to use the word acquaintance. But when you are quoting Charak, I tell you what struck me, another verse of Charak. In my days in Hindi school, I had to study Charak. Barang na rajam na kuraja rajam, barang na mintam na kumitra mintam, barang na dara na kudara dara, barang na shishu na kushishya shishu. You know what that means? A people is better off. There's no monarch than to have one who's not kind and loving. A guru is far better off without a disciple, a chela or children, before he has one who is insincere. Barang na mitro na kumita mitro. Barang na shisho. All those areas in which people are, what is expected is sincerity, honesty, earnestness, so that you can have a genuine chela, chilling friend. And Sri Prakash read extremely beautiful, explained beautiful, and very simple, which I think all of us enjoy. Jhute hi lena, jhute hi dena, jhute hi bhojan, jhute chalena. He spoke about truth being a sin. But some people, they don't tell a lie a day, they're dead the next day. Some people, if they don't criticize people one day, they fall to pieces the next day. They are characteristically that way, and you cannot change them, and they don't think they do wrong. I think the kata was quite appropriate. I looked down further my godson, Pandit Mohan, which the next thing I leave him out. Mohanlal, only to mention a few. All these are persons who I may have in a very small influence them in their lives. And in my view, they've always been a good singer before he went to India. And having gone there, he obviously will be better. But he's always been a good singer, in my view. The other thing that struck me, you talk about lazy. You know what I remember? Two friends went on a journey, and each of them wanted to prove who more lazy. And they took pride in the fact that they can win the lazy competition. So they're hungry, they saw a banana tree. He said, oh, I bring them from here. Several opportunities were there for them to eat, and they're dead hungry. So they saw a plum tree. Both of them decided to lie down under the plum tree, hoping that the plum would fall in the mouth. They don't want to climb up pick it. But both of them standing on par, they both opened their mouth. So the first plum fell in one of their mouth, and he ate it. When the second plum fell in the second of the mouth, he said, oh, I walked my mouth away. He obviously won the competition. But the boy riding his bicycle without light. He lands up before the police station. Police held him. Says, sir, my heart fell long longer than we go flick him up. Police stand by. He says, you guys stupid, huh? When you go back to your heart, you will get away. You hold the bicycle here, and then you go to the heart. I hope you're wide awake. And I learned from my two thoughts tonight. ऐसी लागी लगन वो तो गली गली हर जगह बोले कभी कभी जो गम सही मेरे रात में दीवानी कहा संतों के संग रंग मोहन के रंग मिला प्रेमी प्रीतम को मनाने लगी। मनो अमृत पिया मिला सागर में संता रमाने लगी। दुख रातों से मुझसे गोविंद कहे मिला गोविंद गोपाल गाने लगी। वो तो हरी 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 गाने शांतं साक्षात् प्रमेय मनघं निर्वाण शांति प्रदम् ब्रह्मा शंभु फणिन्द्र सेव्यमैशं वेदान्ति वेदं विभुम् रामाख्यं जगदीश्वरं सुरगुरुं माया मनोषं हरिं वन्देऽहं करुणाकरं रघुवरं गोपालचूडामणिम्। ॐ यजाग्रतो दूरमुदति दैवं तदोषिपथस्य तथैवैति दूरं गमं ज्योतिषां ज्योतिरेकं तन्मे मनः शिवसङ्कल्पमस्तु। नमस्ते सचेते जगत्कारणाय नमस्ते चिते सर्वलोकस्याय नमो दैत्यतत्त्वाय मुक्तिप्रदाय नमो ब्रह्मणे व्यापिने शाश्वताय। In Sri Prakashji's katha tonight, he touched in one of those sopai very important word, santosh. Santosh means contentment. Unless an individual is contented, that person will remain with a yearning quest and desire, not finding peace, but having in his or her system an agitated and reckless development. If at all that situation is to be changed, that individual will have to retreat into the infinite and eternal arms of the great God, who can influence and change our agitated, restless, the word I like, turbulent condition. Tulsidas wrote that sopai, and I thought I should supplement it with the katha tonight, which was so beautifully presented. Let's look at that sopai. I'm going to be in a totally different mood tonight, but not like that. Bina santosh, without contentment, calm nasai, desires, yearnings, aspirations, thirst will continue to rain havoc over your system and keep your life in a state of perpetual turbulence. So that the word turbulent can be registered when you're traveling in an aircraft and the captain intervenes suddenly and says, we are having turbulence ahead, fasten your seatbelts. He warns that there can be a danger, pieces threatened, pieces at stake, a situation of uncertainty and fear are unfolding. Watch it and be careful. If you share aircraft experience, and most people fly and travel these days, you can imagine if that same state and condition and circumstances rain havoc in your inner system, in your life, what will become of your life? Santosham Sadadam Yogi. We go into the pages of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and what do we find? That that person is a yogi who enjoys and experiences santosh, contentment. So yogi is not necessarily, definitely not confined and restrained to a person with beard, mala, jewel, and so on. Every individual in his or her own right can develop yogic shakti, yogic power, and become stable individuals in life and in the world. And that is the first message I want to leave with you tonight. That's what you want. Millions of people, teeming millions over the world, have been hankering and yearning for peace and shanti, but they end up in restless, agitated, and turbulent situation and condition. They cannot find peace in their own life, in their own heart, and in their own mind. What Tulsidasi Maharaj says, Rama bhajana binumite na kama. Bina Ram ka bhajan ka nahi mit sakte hain. Without chanting, singing, murmuring, reciting the name of Bhagwan, that turbulent, that restless, that threatening situation in your own beings and your own body cannot be removed. Consequently, there is obvious need. It looks and appears mandatory for each one of us to spare some moment to sing and chant the name of Lord, so that we can bring that peace which we so badly need in life. Sanatan Dharma, last night we talked about Dharma. Dharma for destruction. Dharma has 10 characteristics. The Hindi word is guna. What are those characteristics. This time another lawgiver writes, and his name is Manu. Dhiti chamadamastayam saucham indriya vigraha dividya satya koda dasakam dharma lakshanam. And the first of the 10, call them commandment if you want, I call them characteristics, guna, tendencies. The first of them is fortitude, forgiveness, shama, dam, control, saucham, purity, command over the indriyas, the senses. You have 5 senses, a mind and a brain. If these go in different directions, you can imagine the state of turbulence which will exist in your mind. You'll want to run away from what? This is a serious point. You want to run away from yourself. Anytime, any moment in your life's experience, if you feel that you want to run from yourself, a bad stage has reached. Don't let that situation reach you. Where I would be inclined to argue, you hate yourself, you dislike yourself, you want to run from yourself. If you don't want that to happen, Rama Bhajana Binimita Karma. Turn now, don't postpone. Tomorrow may be too late. Ut jag musafir bhul bhai, ab naina kaha tum so tu hai. Ut jag wake up. You think only when your eyes are closed, you're in slumber and you're sleeping? Your eyes can be wide open and you're in deep and profound slumber, virtually sleeping. And if some people calculate the actual hours they really and truly sleep, many of them are sleeping away the greatest part of their life. But in philosophical and spiritual terms, what that sleep means, you are not recognizing and acknowledging certain cardinal principles of life. And one of them is the recognition of the fact that each one of us has God in us. Prabhu tum antarayami, Prabhu tum antarayami, What do the Hindu chant when he goes before his or her altar? Prabhu God, thou art in me. Prabhu Tuma Antaryami. Don't search for God outside, you will not find him. Search deep within the very core of your heart, and therein you will find that God. You go to chapter 18 of Gita. Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam. God dwells and exists in the heart of all. Bhagavan Shri Krishna gives to us certain reassurance. One is a powerful one. Sarva dharma parityaja mamekam sharanam braja aham tva sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma sucha. There are no fixed rules to come to me. Come with love, come with affection, come with earnestness, come with sincerity. And tonight, Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam Yume Bhaktya Prayakshati was quoted. What Patr kaha hai? What Pushp kaha hai? What Toyam Pani kaha mil sake hai? Where is that leaf? Where is that water? If you turn on your atmic spiritual eye, Patram ye de tan hai. But the leaf is this body, you have it. Pushp is your heart. Patram Pushpam Phal is the fruit of your services, and Toyam is your kindness. What that verse means? Hinduism does not require extravagance, elaborateness. Some people argue you got to be rich and wealthy and well armed financially before you can worship in Hinduism. That's nonsense. In fact, Hindu Dharma, Sanatana Dharma, has enshrined in it a concept which is very well known and established by all the great writers, including Shankaracharya. And that concept is Mansik Puja, mental worship. And don't be surprised if an individual walks into his or her altar, closes his or her eyes, begin contemplating and meditating and worshipping without offering a single ingredient physically as such. But notwithstanding the fact that you are seeing and witnessing no physical offerings, they are offering Pacham, their body, Pushpam, their heart, their services, and their kindness to the feet of Bhagavan. If you go before your altar, Prabhu tum antarayam Bhagavan, आप मेरे अंदर में निवास करते हैं, बसते हैं. You are in the very core of my heart. I want to identify with you. I want to experience your immortal, infinite presence. I want to realize you. Give me that opportunity so that I can do it. It is to this Dharma that you and I belong. Sanatana Dharma is not static. We just refer to the Ten Commandments, Viti, Shama, Damastayam, purity, honesty. India make you have control of the senses. If you want to remove that turbulent state from within, you got to become the master and the commander of your own rich domain, the human entity and the human body. We appear to be competent and efficient to manage everything when we will begin managing ourselves. Those are the thoughts I want. We got to manage ourselves. We have plans for everything. Do we have a plan of life? Do we have a chart which we are following in the pursuance of life's goal and objectives? If dharma, artha, kama, moksha are to become realities, we got to have a plan, well crafted, well considered, so as we execute it, we can achieve those goals and objectives which dharma set for us. Sisters and brothers, Sanatana Dharma will never be found wanting. It is not inadequate. I want to make another point. It is not static. Like the day the earth stood still. It is moving. It will always be relevant, found to be relevant, and never irrelevant. That is why I quote on innumerable occasions the writings of a former president of India, Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, because he wrote it. He says Hinduism is an inheritance of thought moving with time and life itself. So when we look, Bharandular talk about the zero, you ever ask yourself the question, from where the name Sukarno came? When it is anglicized, it is Sukarno. When it is given its perfect pronunciation, it is Sukarno. Its derivation, its genesis, its origin is definitely Sanskrit. Bharandular was vociferous in demanding, in ensuring that what is ours remain ours. Because in today's world, while yoga is sweeping across the Western Hemisphere, there are publications to the effect that yoga is not a religion. It has nothing to do with religion. The big question is from where it came. The best researchers can find no other answer than yoga has its genesis and origin in the Vedic text, emphasized in Upanishad, Gita, and other texts of Hindu Dharma. We are not only passing through changes in life. Changes are rapid and progressive. All of us got to adjust and adapt ourselves to the changes which are taking place. I'm sure you heard the word Yuga. Satyug, Treta, Dwapar, Kali. Let us travel for a couple moments to see what Satyug is like. Fasten the seatbelt and let's move to Satyug, the golden age, and see what it is like. golden age like? Satyuga. Satyuga, Sabbajogi Vigyani. All were yogis. Meaning people lived, and that was the genesis of tonight's katha. A moral life, a decent life, a disciplined life, a spiritual life, a cultural life. You certainly shout that we believe in God, and that belief is not expressed in our thoughts, in our minds, in our words, and in our action. And I think we all know the phrase, deed or deeds speak louder than voice. So in Satyuga, all were regarded as yogi. What they did, how they prayed, how they worshipped. Kali Hari Dhyan Tajehu Bhavaprani. They were involved in dhyanam. There is a difference between prayer, which is formal, and meditation. Big difference. If you say Tumeva Mata Chipita Tumeva in a formal thing, you haven't traveled and moved into what our Dharma advocates as dhyan. Where you rise out of the formality, you lift your life out of the physical world for a few moments and you contemplate, meditate in what Hindu Dharma calls dhyan and identify with your Bhagwan. So that God, Prabhutam Antaryami, will reside in the very core of your hearts, will be felt, experienced, and realized by you. Once you do that, the process of transformation begins. You transcend, you rise above the physical world, and you move into that higher, deeper, and more profound spiritual world. That was Satyuga. Treta Bivida Yagya Narakarahi. It was in the Silver Age, the Golden Age Jnanam. In the Silver Age, people start performing yag. Prabhuhi Samarpit Karma Bhavatarahi. In that way, in that manner, performing yag and making offerings, they cross the difficulties of this mundane world in which we live. What happened in the Copper Age? So Satyuga golden, Treta silver, Dwapara copper. Dwapara Kali Raghupati Paripuja. In Dwapara, people start worshipping Bhagwan Ram. And then you hear Ram Puja. What is the best way you can perform puja to Ram? And my view is, I hope you find favor with it, is to emulate Ram. To live Ram, be Ram, to see Ram, talk Ram, live Ram. That is the best form of puja. In simple, be a kind son. In simple, be a loving brother. In simple, a devoted husband. A genuine friend. He showed it all. In the Vedanta Ramayana, Ram is said to be truth. And tonight you heard truth. The appropriate and fitting Chaupadi. Dharamana Dusara Satya Samana Agam Nigam Purana Vakhana. There can be no greater religion, never ever, than the religion of truth. So Bhagwan Ram is that truth. Bharat is Dharma. Lakshman is love. And Satyuhan is peace. Kaikeyi is bhakti. Kaikeyi is karma. And Kausalya is bhakti. Each character in the Ramayana reflects, represents, connotes a particular characteristics which you emulate or desist from pursuing. You don't want to be Susnekha. You don't want to be Mantra. You don't want to be Kumkaran. You don't want to be Ravan. You want to be Ram, Sita, Lakshman, Bharat Sattvaha. And this is what Ramayana really is. In this Dwapar age, in the Iron Age, not this Dwapar age, this is Kali-yuga. Dwapar Kali Patipada Puja. In Dwapar Yuga, people start worshipping Ram. And without any other effort, they cross the difficulties of the world and they found peace and chanting. What is the position now? What must we do? Kali-yuga keval hari guna gaha gavat nar pavahi bhavataha. In Kali-yuga, sing his name, chant his glory, recite his name. Tulsidas further right underscore Bishop right. This Chopari, you think, simplifies and puts in a concise way what is expected in the present age in which we live. Kali-yuga yoga and a jap and a jnana, there is no serious need. There is no demand for rigorous penance, fasting, contemplation, peculiar and parallel to the golden age. Because we do not have the patience, for want of a better word. Probably we tell ourselves we do not have that shraddha, that faith, to involve in the kind of discipline and restriction concomitant that goes rather with yog, jap, and so on. What is jap or jap? Sometime here, in other faiths, tell the rosary. And you ask yourself the question, is there any such thing in order? And let me tell you how I will answer it, not boastfully, but truthfully. That whole concept and perception and activity has its genesis, its origin in Sanatana Dharma. We take the mala and we repeat particular mantra, and I'm going to close with that shofari because I think it's late. You take the mala, take the rudrash, and you put your thumb on your ring finger, and you repeat the appropriate mantra. I'm going to just simply tell you the popular one, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Rudraya Namah. Each mala has its own mantra, and each particular activity has its own purpose. Someone is ill, and if you know, and I urge you to know it, I think most of you know it now, Om Trambikam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukam Navandana Mrityunmokshamanuta. Sometimes people call me from overseas and tell me some near and close member of the family is very ill. What can I do? I simply will tell them, encircle the bed and use the chain system and repeat Om Trambikam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam. I have a lot of faith and belief in jap. Chandra knows that. Lot of faith and a lot of belief in jap. I was told that an advanced person, advanced in age, I mean, was virtually dying one night. That's about 2 years ago. But what can we do? Open the patra. And I'm going to chant that last sopari on munch. I said just repeat, then the family surrounded by repeat Om Trambikam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam. Repeat it as long as you can repeat it. I'm told they did it virtually for that whole night. Non-stop. They continued for a couple of days. You know what I want to report to you tonight, and it will sound like them other grouping. But it's true. The mother is still alive tonight, 2 years ago. And every member, every child who spoke with me from that family was sure, and the words they used, it was only a question of time. Mantra is powerful. You can either be mantric or tantric. Tantric is chamatkar. I don't think there's an English word for that. And today I went into one of the stores and I saw Indrajal. I know you never hear about that. That takes you to the road of superstition and stupidness. I probably sound cruel because I want to root out and to have you divest yourself of every tinge and iota of superstition. This is a powerful, civilized culture we belong to. It has answers for everything you want in life and in the world. You only got to be committed to it. I sometimes find that we are not loyal toward them as we ought to be. Like one man, they advised them to jump from a mountain. So the first man said, "Oh Lord Christ," he jumped, it was alright. The second one said, "Oh Allah," he jumped and he was alright. The third one said, "Oh Krishna," he jumped. The fourth one feel with themselves say, "Oh Allah, and oh Krishna, and oh Christ," and they're saved. He said, "Oh Allah, oh Christ, oh Krishna," when he jumped 40-foot block. People don't know what they believe in. This morning they're wanting, tomorrow is something else, and every day they change about it. People mad. You have no faith, you have no shraddha. I believe in my Ishtalevta. I either fall, made or destroyed. I want to stand unflinchingly in my commitment to Lord Shiva. And I will close my eyes, Ratnaikal Asanam, Himajalai Snanam Chadidyam Baram, Nana Ratta Vibhushitam Mridavada, Modantikam Chandanam, Jati Champakabera Patra Chitam Pushpam Sadhupam Tata. Deepam Deva Jayani De Pashupate Hatkalpitam Viyatam. I will chant that with faith, with love, with affection, with commitment, and I know, and I'm convinced that Lord Shiva will answer. And if you ask me how much Persaud they company, 5, 7, 9, where do I get them figures from? You know the book say? Samvarnona Varatna Kanda Rachite Patre Gritang Pasa 100. Or yet tonight I tell you, you don't have to care nothing. It is to this civilization we belong to. If you want to care as many as you wish. And if you don't want to care, you can still be as effective as if you're taken. You have anything equal, comparable to them? I don't think so. When they talk about 30-something tunes and melodies, we talk about 400,000 ragas. One when you wake, one when you go sleep, one when you eat, one when baby born, one when somebody dead. One when a shave out the hair. We have in Sratadham Solah Sanskar, so that the child can evolve in an atmosphere of spirituality, enjoying health, strength, and a good life on the face of the earth. Tonight, sisters and brothers, be like the huntsman. And upon this note I will close. He goes into the forest. He was looking for his praise. He got none. He was frustrated, pulled a box of matches out of his pocket and lit the forest afire. आग लगी इस वृक्ष में हर डाली और पात, अरे चिड़ैया तू क्यों न उड़े, जलेगा उसका साथ. Then he lit the forest afire. A bird was on one of the limbs of the tree. Die away, bird, or you're going to be burnt, you're going to be consumed. खाया फल इस वृक्ष से हर डाली और पात, धर्म हमारा है वही, जलेगा उसका साथ. That is the Hindu mind, that is the Hindu faith, that is the Hindu belief, that is the Hindu commitment. I've lived on this tree, I've had the fruits of this tree. Today that this tree is in fire, I'm not going to run and leave it, I will stay on it. And if I'm to burn, let me burn. It is that kind of faith and strength we want to build in Sanatana, the last chopari. Learn our mantra. Repeat Gayatri. Om Bhur Bhuva Swa Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhyo Naha Prachodaya. Repeat it as often as you can and repeat it every day. Don't be an annual Hindu, once a year chanting. The year is 365 days. One of those 365, you're going to do the chanting, and that's going to be a miracle. And you're going to say, Mahabir Baba, oh my God, let me get a walk. Do chanting. If you don't get a walk, no chanting. God help Mahabir Swami. Come out of that kind of world. Hindu Dharma advocates faithfully an intelligent, enlightened path for all of us. And I urge you tonight, the Doha is कर जो समझो लो आन नहीं जो न करे विश्वास गाये गुण राम बल हो सागर दास. If we pursue the simple path of sincerity, honesty, devotion, bhakti, and simply chant the Lord name, let me give you the master of that chanting mechanism. You know the name, Persaud. He was threatened. He was tortured. He was a victim. He was terrorized. What he did? Nama japata harikina prasadu bhakta shiromani bhai prahaladu. He chanted the name of God and he was saved from the vicious and wicked deeds of his honor. Tulsidas wrote on Manch. Chant your mantra, Tulsidas urges, persuades, recommends. मंत्र जाप, मंत्र सीखो, मंत्र का जाप करो, अच्छा हिंदू बनो, अपना धर्म और संस्कृति का अनुसार पर इस संसार पर चले. ऐसे करने से आप अति आनंद, शांति और उसके बाद मुक्ति धाम को प्राप्त करेंगे. Believe in your mantra, chant your mantra, have faith in your Ishtadevata. Don't be fickle. Don't change your God every day. Mantra jap, man, mam, did, vishwasha, believe. Pancham bhajana sabeda prakasha. That comes from the Ved. Chant his name though you have not seen him. Japai naam rupa vinadeka. That God, avat hridaya saneha visheka. He will descend in your heart. Japaninama jana anatavadi mitahiku sankata hoi sukari. There can be no trouble, no tragedy, no misery, which cannot be resolved and reconciled by the blessings of God. We conclude. Payoji maine Ramaratan Dharma Payo. Payoji maine Ramaratan Dharma रामचंद्र भगवान की जय।